AEW President Tony Khan responds to a troll claim on social media that WWE will put AEW out of business. WWE PLEs could be headed to ESPN earlier than originally planned. Danhausen is sticking around in AEW for the foreseeable future after injury time was added on to his contract against his wishes. Taz confirms he will miss AEW Dynamite and the Forbidden Door pay-per-view in the UK this week. AEW files an interesting trademark that could be for the upcoming residency at the former ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Already, it looks like WWE have scrapped the Crown Jewel Championships for the 2025 edition of the PLE. Smackdown, we have the ratings for Friday's episode of the Blue Brand on USA Network. Bret Hart, we've got an update on him not having a seat at WWE SummerSlam and feeling underappreciated, and more details on WWE signing several AAA talents. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. But before we begin, a reminder, you can check out all of our affiliate links in the sidebar, such as VeroShave and NordVPN. The links are in the video description and also they'll be pinned in the comments section. Be sure to check them out. It helps you save some money and it also helps us here at the channel. Right, let's get straight in to the first story regarding Tony Khan hitting back at a troll on social media. Now, AEW President Tony Khan has responded to a Twitter troll, if you will. The suggestion from said troll was that WWE are going to put All Elite Wrestling out of business. Tony Khan has never been shy about using social media, although he has rarely taken shots at other companies in 2025 specifically, and largely uses X/Twitter to promote AEW, including on Saturday night when he thanked fans for tuning in to AEW Collision. The tweet, however, prompted a response from one Twitter troll who wrote, quote, "WWE is gonna bring you down and close shop. Can't wait." Tony Khan had a swift response to the reply, simply responding with a gif of Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek The Next Generation saying, quote, "That'll be the day." Now, Khan currently finds himself in the middle of a pro wrestling war with WWE as the company headed by Nick Khan and Triple H have stepped up their counter-programming campaign against AEW pay-per-views. This will reportedly see WWE hold a main roster pay-per-view/premium live event on the same day as an AEW pay-per-view for the first time, as a yet-to-be-announced show goes head-to-head with AEW All Out on September 20th. It's rumored that it's going to be WrestlePalooza, the revived ECW pay-per-view, and headlined by Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. In addition, WWE are also planning to counter-program AEW at least one more time in 2025 after All Out. TNA Wrestling, a promotion with a working relationship with WWE that allows WWE to buy the company, are also reportedly open to moving TNA Impact, their flagship broadcast, to Wednesday nights to go against AEW Dynamite, with WWE said to be assisting TNA in their negotiations over a new United States media rights deal. Of course, if we get any more details on this, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, speaking of this upcoming WrestlePalooza show, it's been rumored that could be on ESPN. Now, WWE pay-per-views may be moving to ESPN on a permanent basis much earlier than expected. It was announced earlier this month that WWE pay-per-views, also premium live events, would air on ESPN platforms in the United States from 2026 as part of a 5-year deal with $1.6 billion. WWE's major main roster shows are expected to air on ESPN's direct-to-consumer service, while select shows will also air on ESPN's linear TV platforms. The deal was due to take effect from April's WrestleMania 42, as WWE's current PLE media rights deal in the United States with Peacock doesn't expire until March 2026. It has since been reported, however, that WWE's as yet unannounced pay-per-view on September 20 will air on ESPN in the United States, and Brian Alvarez noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that all WWE premium live events could air on ESPN platforms moving forward, as WWE may have already fulfilled their contractual obligations to Peacock. Quote, "I'm hearing we may have ESPN going forward. They do have a deal with Peacock until March 2026, and I don't know this 100%, but I was kind of given the impression that the way it worked with Peacock was they were contracted to X number of events, and they've added, because there's a second night of SummerSlam, they added the Evolution show, so they may have met the quota. We'll see what happens. But that was the impression I was given," Alvarez said. Now, WWE PLEs have aired on Peacock in the United States since March of 2021, when the pro wrestling company decided to move away from the WWE network. WWE PLEs will continue to air on Netflix internationally. Of course, if you want to get all of your PLEs, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and WWE archive shows, you can get that by using NordVPN. You can just scan the QR code right there, or the links in the video description or pinned in the comment section, and you can change your location to places where, of course, WWE is completely on the streaming platform. Now let's go over to AEW and talk about Danhausen, because he is still All Elite and he's going to be for quite some time. Now, Fightful Select had reported earlier this year that Danhausen was in his contract year and that specifically his deal would be up in July. Now that time has come and passed, and he's still listed on the AEW roster page, and that's for a good reason. He's still with AEW technically. Now, Fightful Select are reporting they have been told by AEW sources that Danhausen's contract would have been up on July 1st. However, there were months added onto Danhausen's contract that would take the contract well into 2026. Now, it was believed that Danhausen had requested they not pick up the option and that he was ready to leave the company after barely being used the last couple of years. According to Fightful Select, there have been no creative plans for Danhausen as of late, but still, he is under contract to AEW. Now, a big update here as to the broadcasts of AEW Dynamite and Forbidden Door in the UK this week. AEW will be without one of its top commentators for this week's Dynamite episode, as well as Forbidden Door. This Wednesday, AEW will be in Glasgow, Scotland for Dynamite and a Collision taping. The promotion then heads to London for its Forbidden Door 2025 pay-per-view that's taking place on August 24th. Taz announced today that he won't be doing commentary at the events because a long flight over to the United Kingdom would not be good for his surgically repaired knee right now. Quote, "I will be off this week, a combo of doctor's appointments / imaging test on a couple of future surgeries, some R&R, and most importantly, my new knee does not cooperate too well with very long flights at the moment," Taz wrote. "Hope you all enjoy AEW Dynamite and Forbidden Door." Now, Taz underwent knee replacement surgery last October and has been back on commentary since December, with his recovery going really well with rehab and physical therapy. In May 2024, Taz noted that a doctor had told him he would need both of his shoulders and knees replaced at some point. Taz said the damage was caused by training too hard in the gym during his career. The 57-year-old ECW legend calls Dynamite weekly alongside Excalibur and Tony Schiavone. Speaking of ECW, it looks like AEW could be doing an ECW theme show. All Elite Wrestling are seemingly leaning into inspiration from Extreme Championship Wrestling for their latest trademark filing. AEW filed to trademark September to Remember with the United States Patent and Trademark Office on Monday, August 18th. How AEW plan to use September to Remember is unknown, but the promotion begins their residency at Philadelphia's 2300 Arena on August 27th, and it will continue until September 11th. The venue was famously the home of ECW. AEW have previously called back to ECW's past as Tony Khan's promotion used November Rain by Guns N' Roses for AEW Full Gear. The popular song had been used to promote ECW November to Remember. WWE have also taken inspiration from Extreme Championship Wrestling, as their yet unannounced pay-per-view on the same day as AEW All Out will reportedly be named WrestlePalooza. Now, it looks like WWE have already scrapped plans for the Crown Jewel Championships this year. WWE will return to Australia later this year for the Crown Jewel Premium Live events, but the company may have changed their plans for the show. According to Body Slam, the Crown Jewel Championships are not expected to be on the line in Australia as of now. This would constitute a change of plans for WWE, as it was noted it would be champion versus champion in the men's and women's divisions at Crown Jewel 2025 when the event was first announced. WWE created the Crown Jewel Championships in 2024 for that year's Premium Live event in Saudi Arabia. Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes defeated World Heavyweight Champion Gunther for the men's Crown Jewel title, while Women's World Champion Liv Morgan defeated WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. WWE Crown Jewel 2025 will be held on Saturday, October 11th at the RAC Arena in Perth, Australia. The show will be the headline event of a weekend of shows in Perth, including SmackDown on October 10th and Raw on October 13th. Now, we got the ratings for last Friday's episode of WWE Smackdown. The August 15th, 2025 edition of WWE Smackdown experienced a decline in overall viewership and ratings, despite being the top-rated show of the night in the key demo. Programming Insider has reported that last week's show drew an average of 1.43 million viewers, a drop of 8% from the previous week's 1.557 million viewers. The show dropped below the 1.5 million mark for the first time in 4 weeks and was 10% less than the trailing 4-week average, which currently stands at 1.588 million. The 18 to 49 key demographic rating, meanwhile, fell to 0.35 from last week's 0.48, a 27% decline. Despite the fall in ratings, SmackDown was at the top for the night in the key demo for both broadcast and cable, ahead of the NFL preseason game between the Tennessee Titans and Atlanta Falcons. Now, SmackDown had a tough August in terms of both overall viewership and ratings, with both metrics significantly lower than in August 2024, as per WrestleNomics. Viewership is down 30% to 1.51 million from 2.16 million last August, while ratings have dropped 27% from a 0.59 to a 0.49. It must be noted, however, that SmackDown was on a different network, of course, last August, as it aired on Fox, before moving to its current home, USA Network, in September 2024. The next 2 SmackDown shows will take place internationally, with the next one to be held in Dublin, Ireland, followed by a show in Lyon, France, ahead of the Clash in Paris PLE. Now, there had been this story about Bret Hart feeling underappreciated by WWE, and Kevin Nash has clarified that he didn't have a seat at WWE SummerSlam, contrary to Bret Hart's previous comments. Now, if you hadn't seen, Bret Hart expressed his unhappiness within WWE earlier this month, noting that he realized the company doesn't fully appreciate him after WWE invited him to SummerSlam, only to not provide him with a seat inside MetLife Stadium. Hart noted that Kevin Nash had a seat at SummerSlam, but the former Diesel revealed on his Click This podcast that he didn't have a seat at the show either. Quote, "Well, number one, I didn't go to the show because I knew I didn't have a seat. My whole thing was I did a signing inside the arena, inside MetLife. So I did a signing, at like 1:30 till 3 o'clock or something like that," Nash said. The NWO founder noted he called Bret Hart to clear the air before revealing why he doesn't attend WWE events to watch the show. Quote, "I stopped going after they put me in an effing box and the monitor in the box didn't work and the ring was so effing small and we were so far away that we had to look up and watch the effing Tron, with no effing announcing. It's bad enough to effing have to watch effing wrestling without effing being able to effing fast forward through the shit, let alone no effing announcing and volume," Nash said. Now, reports have noted that several guests invited to SummerSlam ended up without seats as the 2-night stadium show, and the issues weren't solely restricted to Bret Hart. And finally, an update on WWE signing AAA talents. Now, of course, some clarification on the nature of the contracts recently signed by AAA talent has emerged following reports that WWE had tied down several other promotions' luchadors to deals. According to the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer, WWE signed L.A. Parker, Microman, Fabio Apache, La Hidera, Nino Hamburguesa, El Macias, and Lady Flammer to contracts. However, according to a report from Body Slam, the WWE contracts they signed are strictly for merchandise only, and they are still under AAA deals. Due to being signed to AAA contracts as opposed to WWE ones, the talents are allowed to take independent bookings. The contracts signed by the likes of Psycho Clown, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner, and Mr. Iguana, on the other hand, make them exclusive to WWE. WWE are clearly putting their stamp on AAA, something that was evident by the presence of WWE superstars and other personnel at the recent Triple Mania event. On top of that, WWE reportedly are strongly considering redesigning the AAA logo, while WWE Hall of Famer The Undertaker could potentially be doing more with the Mexican promotion moving forward. Of course, if you get any more details on that, we'll let you know in a future video. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. A reminder, be sure to check out our affiliate links in the comment section below or in the sidebar or in the video description. That includes Verishave, you can see right there on the sidebar, and NordVPN. I appreciate everyone for tuning in as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.